This video shows you how to automatically copy a default project whenever you start a new RHVAC project. First, let's create our default project. This project will contain the things we want in each new project we'll be creating. Click the File menu. Then click New Project. Click Blank Project. Then click the OK button. The very first thing you should do after creating any new project is to save it. Doing so makes it so you can recover your work if anything goes wrong. Click the Save Project As button in the toolbar. You can name the project anything you want, but let's name this one Autoload 1. Click Save. Leave the project title input blank since that will change for each project. We only want to enter things that will be common among all or most projects. Enter your name in the Designed By input since that will be the same for each project. Now let's blank out the date input. That will make it so when this project is copied into a new project, the date will be set to the day when you first start the new project. Next, click the Company tab. We'll skip the Client tab since those inputs will be changing for each new project. Here, you'll type in the information about your company. Next, we'll click the Design Conditions tab and enter our outdoor conditions. We're assuming that we'll be doing all or most of our projects in the same city area. The city for this example is Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. For this city, we can just type the first few letters and press Enter. If that does not find the city you want, you can click the drop-down Help button beside the reference city input and scroll through the list to find your city. Notice that most of the inputs on this tab have now been updated for Harrisburg. These values are the same as those in Manual J, but you can edit them if you want to. We can skip the Duct Sizing tab. All of its inputs are already set to good default values. You can change them for individual projects later if you need to. For your default project, it may or may not be appropriate to enter some data on the default room data window. It depends on whether your projects will often have similar materials. For this demo, we'll assume they will, so click the D button in the toolbar to open the default room data window. Let's leave the width and length of the default room at 0 and enter 8 feet for the height. Now let's select our default materials for floors, roofs, walls, windows, and doors. Selecting a floor material involves 3 steps. First, you select the type by selecting one of these tabs. Second, you select a category from this list. And third, you click on an item in the bottom list. Click OK. For roofs, you select an option button instead of a tab to select the type. Then you select a category. And finally, you double-click an item in the bottom list. The default wall height is one of the few dimensional inputs that we'll need to enter on this window, since most of the rest will vary from room to room. Other dimensional inputs to enter here are the width and height of the window and door. For doors, there are no types or categories. You simply double-click the door you want from the list. We've finished editing our default project, so let's save it by clicking the Save Project button in the toolbar. Now, for the purposes of this demo, let's close the project before we start our new one. Click the File menu. Click Close Project. Now we need to make it so the default project we just created gets copied whenever we start a new project. Click the Tools menu. Now click Options. Click the New Projects tab. Change the option to Copy this file. Click the drop-down Help button beside the file name input to browse for our default project file. Here's the Autoload 1 default project file we created earlier. Click to select it. Click Open. Click OK to apply and save our changes and close the Rhvac Options dialog. Now let's start a new project and verify that it is a copy of the Autoload 1 file we created earlier. Click the New Project button in the toolbar. We can see that the new project is a copy of the Autoload 1 file we created earlier. Thanks for watching.